So, welcome to the January 2016 edition of our Cub Scout Breakout. Thanks for being here. Happy New Year. How's everybody doing? Good year so far? As with usual, we're going to start with sign-ins, name, position, unit number. If you're a frequent flyer and you've been receiving emails from me and your email address is the same, go ahead and write same on the email line. If you're new and you're looking at me, you're going, who is this guy? Please write down your email address as legibly as you can, because there are 3 reasons for me to ask this information of you. First is, at the end of the evening this evening, I will send out an email with a pointer to a location on a Google Drive where you will get copies, digital copies, PDF files of my slides that I'm presenting, as well as all the handouts back there, as well as additional handouts, Excel spreadsheets, some great stuff for you to use based on our topic today. Second reason is that we ask for sign-ins. We keep track of attendance month over month. And if somebody's working, if you're working on Scouter's Training or Cub Master's Key, we record those so that if it ever comes up that's Cub Master Joe put in for Cub Master's Key, and there's a requirement there of engaging with your district and or your council, I'll come to Roundtable. If it ever comes up, did Joe actually go to Roundtable? We have those records, we can back Joe up. So, we do, bless you. Third reason is we are really encouraging all of our units to come to Roundtable. You being here essentially gets you credit for your units, so they stay off the nasty gram and get the friendly email from me that says, welcome, greetings, please come back. So those are our 3 big things. Any questions about that? Scouts Honor, we do not share, barter, trade, or give away any of this information. This is Roundtable staff use only. Hopefully nobody's been getting spam from me, right? Or because of me. Who's new? Anybody? Don't know me? Great, welcome. So my name is Mike. I'm your Cub Scout Roundtable Commissioner for Sunset Trail District. I'm a resource to you. My partner in crime, Daryl, can't be here today. I'm a little out of focus. This is not a running joke. Daryl has a crazy work schedule. Can you guys read that in the back? Close enough. You'll get the slides at the end of the day. Chris is here in the front. He can read it just fine. We're resources to you. If you have questions, if there's something that's not right, if you're struggling with den leader issues or Cub Master, or whatever, what's the journey to excellence, who's my unit commissioner, send me an email, give me a call. I welcome those things. We want to help you solve problems. So please look at us as a resource. I have an exciting announcement, a new announcement today. Chris, stand up and come on up here. I want to introduce Chris May. We have a new addition to our team. He's going to step in as an assistant roundtable commissioner. It was made very clear to me back in October that we have struggled to provide good service to our LDS scouters. And so we searched far and wide and found Chris. And
scraping the bottom of the barrel.
So Chris is going to be here. I've got some ideas. We haven't talked about this at all. In fact, I've got an adult application over there for you to fill out.
Right.
So don't run off without that. So he's probably wide-eyed, like, what's going to happen? But we're going to have some great things, especially for LDS scouters, to have some good information, some accurate information. And we might even do some specific breakouts for things that LDS scouters struggle with that us on the community side don't. So thank you, Chris. Sincerely appreciate it. Let's welcome Chris to the team. Thank you very much. And I'll just say for Chris, he is a resource to you too. So our agenda today, we just did welcome and introductions. Thanks for being here. For those of you who don't know, I love awards. I like awards that we can guide our Cub Scouts to earning, and I like awards that we as Scouters can also earn. Sometimes those overlap, sometimes they don't. We're going to talk about 2 today. We're going to talk about the Conservation Good Turn, which is primarily for Cub Scouts. We're also going to talk about the Community Organization Award, which is kind of a big bucket. We'll get to that in a sec. We're going to go over our February point of the Scout Law and our theme. We'll do a cheer, we'll do a game, and we'll do a gathering activity, or at least we'll talk about them. And then we'll get into our interest topics, annual planning, JTE, and we'll wrap it up at the end. Any questions? Everybody ready for this? Great. Last month we talked about and what was it? It was, yeah, that one. The Conservation, the Outdoor Ethics Award, that's the one. There are 3 of them. It was really involved. We're taking it back a step. This is really simple.
Did you ever find out who does it though?
I did not. Okay. I haven't gotten it. I've been pestering Michelle Baumann about other stuff. I should peg her about that too. This is a really simple one. It's a great one, especially to do if your unit does conservation projects every once in a while, and to get your scouts excited and started on this path of conservation projects. There's only one requirement. It's a temporary patch. It goes on the right side of the uniform, plastic dangler kind of thing. They sell at the Scout Shop. It's great. The only requirement is to participate in a PAC conservation project. Keyword is PAC, not den, not individual. So as a PAC, do a conservation project. Everybody who participates as a scout can get a patch if you want. If you do something through Solve, they also have the segment. So kind of choose which one you want to do. If you've done Solve before, all of your scouts have that segment. Maybe this is a great alternative. Some ideas, I'm not going to read the list to you. I will say we had a great discussion back in July, specifically about service projects, community service and conservation service projects. This is a link to part 3 of 4, which is exactly the conservation service project discussion. If you need ideas or clarification, check out that link. It's about 15 minutes long. We had a great discussion and presented a really fantastic project, the storm drain marking from the Clean Water Services, right? And all that information in the description of that YouTube video, there's a link to a Google Drive, and her flyers on there from the Clean Water Services. All the slides are on there. All that information is there for you. So if you have any questions, thoughts, you need some ideas for conservation service projects, check that out. There's some more information here from BSA National, meritbadge.org, and Boy Scout Trail about the badge itself. And they kind of go through here are some general ideas. We have some very specific ones for this area, so in our discussion. So very simple, very straightforward, a great way to kind of get your scouts excited about that. Questions? Easy, right? All right. So let's talk about something because we as scouters aren't really supposed to wear that. You in theory could buy a bunch of them and give it out to your scouters, but it's really supposed to be for the Cub Scouts. Us as scouters can earn a whole swath of different awards. This is one of them. Community organization. Somebody aware of this one, Art, the community organization award? Oh, Anthony knows about it, okay. Anthony knows about everything. I put the S in parentheses for a reason. BSA National, it's kind of here's a box. But inside that box is a whole bunch of different awards. There's a history here with some of the chartered partners we've had over the years, came to Boy Scouts of America and said, hey, we'd like to recognize some people that are part of our organization and bring scouting and our group closer together. That's how it got started, and then it just kind of went from there. And there are a whole swath, almost 20 as I understand. This serves today as a catch-all for awards from community organizations that partner with Boy Scouts. It's really similar, if you were here for our religious awards discussion or are familiar with the BSA Religious Emblem program, it's very similar to that in that the award is given by the organization, not Boy Scouts of America, but it's recognized by Boy Scouts of America with the patch. Make sense? Say, okay, by the way, this list is growing. If you do a search and you find a list from a couple years ago, you might have an incomplete partial list. Might be outdated. It's growing. In fact, there's a new one I'll tell you about in a sec. Again, there are some links here. Scouting Magazine had a great article on that back in 2009. It's changed a little bit since then, but not much. The official BSA National Council link on that, and the U.S. Scouting Project has some information. It's pretty good. This is the first half of the list. Rotary International, Freemasons, Lions Club, the BPOE. It took me a while to figure out what the U.S. Power Squadrons are. Anybody know what they are? You know? Motorboats, right? They love their motorboats. So you'll notice it's all about Sea Scout service. So you see how it works here. The Sons of the American Revolution, VFW, American Legion, all these organizations actually charter scouting units at some point. All of them have a national presence but are locally community focused. So there's a common thread here. AMVETS, if you're a Department of Defense, if you're an active military person, I think it might also work for reserves. I don't know. Do you have any reserves and something like there's
National Guard.
Yeah, thank you. National Guard. That's exactly where I was going.
Well, the National Guard is kind of one of those gray areas.
Yeah.
They're state, but they're also national.
Right.
So,
I think if you're a National Guard member, do you know anything about that? Yeah, I think you qualify for this. Nonprofit Leadership Alliance is an interesting one. Philmont Staff has an association. They offer a thing. Wood Services is all about youth with special needs, if you work with youth with special needs. And the newest one is the Amateur Radio Relay League. So if you're an amateur radio operator and you promote radio, radio merit badge, you know anything about that out of curiosity?
The amateur radio one basically is teaching the radio merit badge, getting scouts on the air for jamboree on the air.
Right, jamboree on the air.
And there's a couple other criteria that go into
Right.
it. But basically it's...
Most of these, in fact, I believe almost all of them, if not all of them, are by nomination only. So when you're out there, you're promoting and bringing these groups together and doing these things, make sure that you make a splash if you're really interested in this. And the way I look at this is if you get on the list and you say, oh, hey, look, I'm a member of the VFW. Cool. Check it out. Go see if that's something that you want to participate in and strive for. If you're a member of the Lions Club or the BPOE, the Elks Club, check it out. See if you can find a way to bring scouting and your organization closer together. I wouldn't go out and join the Masonic Lodge just because I want to learn a patch. That's a little ridiculous. But if you already are, why not? See if you can bring those things together. Any questions? All of these have very unique requirements. Each organization has, just like the religious award, every different organization has a different thing, different award, different requirements, but it's recognized by BSA National. So that's what that's all about. No questions? Very cool. Lots of links if you want to check stuff out, see what's out there. Cool stuff. So it's January. We're looking forward to February for our pack leaders, for our den leaders. Our theme, point of the Scout Law, is friendly. Friendly is one of my favorite ones, actually, because all of our scouts, all the way down to first graders, know what friendly means, right? But friendly has a deeper meaning to it. I love this sentence about offering friendships to people of all races, nations, and respecting their beliefs, even though their customs might be different. That's an element of depth that we can try to imbue even to our Cub Scouts. So if you're a Cub Master, doing a Cub Master's Minute, if you're a den leader and you follow these with your den plans, talk about what it means to be friendly and pull from this. This is a really good one about what it truly means to be friendly. Some ideas. Getting to know you bingo, the pack resource sheet on the Google Drive, page 9, and it has different things, and you basically use as a joining activity, possibly, like somebody who speaks Spanish, somebody who's been to Canada. And the idea is you have your scouts, everyone has a handout, and they run around and try to find different people, one person per slot only, to sign and say, yeah, I can speak Spanish, or yeah, I've been to Canada, or I have a pen pal in Argentina, or whatever. There's an example here. Make your own. It's cool. There's a great thing learning about the World Scouting Organization. We talked a little bit about the Messages of Peace a couple months ago. That's a good venue into talking about scouting organizations outside the United States. There's that. There's also a pen pal organization. There's a Facebook group I just stumbled on the other day. Pen pal things have kind of gone by the wayside with email and stuff like that. There are still groups that connect scouts together, have pen pals internationally. Check that out if you're looking for something different to do. Questions about friendly? There's lots of resources on, I didn't print any of this stuff out because people won't seem to take it. There's a couple of flyers in the Google Drive, lots of ideas, prayers, openings, advancements, stuff like that. Take what you like. There's all kinds of stuff on there. The theme is friends near and far. Again, it comes right together with friendly. It reminds us we're part of something bigger than just our own community, part of the world community. By living the Scout Law, we accept the world's people and all their values. That's the whole point. There's not a lot to it, but it dovetails well with friendly. So that's what that is. Gathering activity idea for you guys. This is potentially going to work well for den leaders, especially wolf, bear, webelos. There's a couple of things I found on crossword puzzles, and it might be good also for anybody who's still a new scout that need to earn Bobcat. Scout Law crossword puzzle. Simple, but it gets those scouts thinking about each of those points of the Scout Law. It's a fill in the blank thing. There's another one, the Boy Scout Basics crossword. I pulled in the hints here. It's kind of fun, not too hard, but all very relevant to scouting. Could print a bunch of these out. I didn't necessarily do it for a pack meeting, but I think as a gathering activity for a den meeting, if you have 5 or 6 scouts, they're going to come in, start at the table, have some pens ready, have them go to town, see what they can do, see if they can solve the puzzle. So a couple of those things for you to take home. I'll have, got a message. I'll have a few more things next month. This is almost a phone it in gathering activity, right? Print off some pieces of paper and see what happens. Again, I also wouldn't do this as much for tigers. The younger scouts might not be as patient with figuring out all these things.
Can't
So.
read it either.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've found, especially with a scout law, I've got some first graders that just can't decipher some of those words. So take it for what it's worth. All right. Anybody know the sleeping guard game? This is an old one, actually. I heard you guys wanted to hear about games. I think a couple people really wanted to hear about games. There's a link here for the description. Basically what it is again, this is really good for a den. 5, 6, 7 scouts works really well. Pack, not so much. Too many scouts, unless you break them up into groups, that might work. So the idea is you choose one scout to be the sleeping guard. The rest will be thieves. The guard is blindfolded and sits on the ground next to an object to be stolen, hopefully something small, not a bowling ball. The thieves start from a distance away and approach quietly and try to steal it. They must walk, not run, which is good, when they try to steal this thing. If the guard hears the thief approaching, he points at them. If he correctly points at the thief, then that thief is out. If one of the thieves gets the object without being pointed out, he gets to be the guard for the next round. Nice thing about this, its goal is to be quiet. You don't have lots of scouts yelling and screaming. Again, I think it would work well for a group of 5 or 6.
I played that game.
Okay.
As
Does it work?
scout, it works.
Yeah, there you go.
I know it by a different name.
Okay.
And then I even know by an even older name.
And those are?
The older name that I know it by is Silent Indian.
Oh, okay.
But
Not quite so
I-
PC.
Not quite so PC.
Right.
And I grew up in Pendleton, Oregon, where we're 5 miles from an Indian
From the reservation. Right.
So we changed the name to Sneaky Ninja.
Okay. Yeah, same idea, different name. Sleeping guards, even more PC, but name it what you want. The idea is, and the scouts tend to have fun with trying to be stealthy, right? And yeah, I guess you could probably burn 8, 10, 15 minutes at most if you really want to.
20, 30.
Really? They really get into it, huh? So, again, I don't think this would work quite as well at the pack level if you've got 30, 40 scouts running around. This is probably good for a den meeting. Bring them in, see what they can do. Other thoughts on that? You seem to be really aware of this.
Well, one way to do it is you have 3, so you have your 3 lines.
Okay.
And then, obviously the person who takes the item back to the line gets to then be the sleeping guard.
Right.
And as you're going through it, if you notice that, somebody hasn't had a chance to be, you go through and so everybody
And you
might
just
have a
say,
chance.
okay, this time Billy gets to be the guard.
Right.
Okay.
It's either a time limit
Mhm.
or a,
Executive decision, if you
executive
will.
decision
Yeah, yeah.
of the amount of time, or they get the item, which is usually a set of keys,
Oh, okay.
or it's
Keys.
really great.
I kind of pictured a bandana or something, but keys are interesting.
Yeah.
Those are noisy.
They are. It
Making it
adds
challenging.
It adds another challenge level to it.
Or a bell or something. Okay, cool. All right, thank you for sharing. Who knows the roller coaster cheer? You guys done this? You want to join me in the roller coaster? So if you look on YouTube, there's some great, and I just every month I want to do a cheer. And this one, I've seen videos of high schoolers who have practiced this and got it down to just nailed it. And they all start, and everyone's in a roller coaster, and you go and ching with your seatbelt, right? And then you're all going with me, up the thing, and then everyone goes, woo! And everyone goes with me next to the side, and the side, and the side, and down, and around. And I think Cub Scouts tend to like this, especially if we all jump in and have fun, go crazy, and somebody's over here, somebody runs through the middle, have fun with it. And then the trick is to figure out when it ends, I think, with Cub Scouts, because they'll just go. But the roller coaster cheer, I've heard it's fun with Cub Scouts. I've never actually seen it done at the pack level. Try it and report back to me. That's my challenge for you this evening. Questions, thoughts? You want to hear more of these? Gathering and games and cheers? Rob says yes, that's good.
Always looking for more games.
All right, I hear ya. Games are one of those things that
Can never have too many.
just like volunteers, right? You can never have too many volunteers to help out.